Why is Jungkook so angry? HYBE reportedly banned BTS members from Jin's concert. The tension erupted like a thunderclap across the global entertainment sphere. Jungkook, the youngest member of BTS and one of the most composed public figures in K-pop, reportedly exploded in fury following HYBE's controversial decision to ban all BTS members from attending Jin's solo concert at Incheon Munhak Stadium. The sudden directive, delivered without public explanation, has triggered a storm of speculation, outrage, and disbelief among fans and insiders alike. Why would the company that built its empire on BTS's unity impose such a divisive restriction? And what does Jungkook's emotional reaction reveal about the deeper fractures that may exist between the group and its management? According to multiple reports from industry observers, HYBE issued an internal order preventing BTS members from appearing at Jin's concert, not only as guest performers, but even as audience members. The decision arrived just days before Jin's much-anticipated solo performance, his first since completing mandatory military service. What was meant to be a moment of celebration, a triumphant return symbolizing resilience, artistry, and brotherhood, suddenly transformed into the epicenter of controversy. The absence of his bandmates from such a monumental occasion has raised serious questions about agency politics, artist autonomy, and the true state of unity within one of the world's most influential groups. Jungkook's reaction, described by those close to him as immediate and uncharacteristically intense, has become the defining image of this unfolding drama. Known for his calm and respectful demeanor, Jungkook's anger was not only visible, it was seismic. Sources claim he confronted HYBE management directly, questioning the reasoning and fairness of the restriction. His alleged statement, "How can we call ourselves brothers if we're not allowed to stand beside him?" reportedly encapsulated the depth of his frustration. Whether factual or paraphrased, that sentiment has echoed across fan communities as a symbol of defiance against corporate control. The emotional weight of this moment cannot be overstated. BTS has long been celebrated not merely as a musical act, but as a cultural phenomenon built on authenticity, loyalty, and shared struggle. Every member's success has traditionally been viewed as a collective victory. Jungkook's outburst, therefore, isn't just about one concert. It represents a philosophical clash between personal loyalty and corporate authority. For fans, it raises a painful question. Has the bond that defined BTS for over a decade begun to fracture under the weight of institutional power? Observers have noted that HYBE's timing and reasoning make the situation even more puzzling. Jin's concert was expected to draw tens of thousands of attendees from around the world and serve as a beacon of BTS's enduring legacy. Allowing the members to appear even briefly would have amplified the emotional resonance of the event. Instead, the company's silence and the members' conspicuous absence sent a chilling message. Was HYBE attempting to assert creative control or to separate Jin's solo career from the collective BTS brand? Neither explanation satisfies fans who view the decision as both punitive and unnecessary. The fallout was immediate. Within hours of the news spreading online, hashtags like #LetBTSSupportJin and #RespectJungkook trended globally on X, formerly Twitter. Fans accused HYBE of sabotaging Jin's moment and disregarding the emotional bond that connects BTS to its audience. The backlash was fierce, emotional, and deeply personal. Jungkook's anger became a rallying point, not as an act of rebellion, but as a human reaction against what many perceive as corporate overreach. Meanwhile, the silence of the other BTS members has only intensified speculation. Were they complying with the directive reluctantly, or was their absence a quiet form of resistance? Jin himself maintained professionalism throughout the concert, performing with grace and dignity despite the empty space beside him where his brothers might have stood. Observers noted fleeting moments of emotion, subtle pauses, tightened expressions that hinted at the gravity of what was left unsaid. His resilience on stage became a quiet protest of its own. Industry analysts are now calling this incident a potential turning point for artist-agency relations in K-pop. The notion that even the world's biggest group can be restricted from expressing solidarity raises uncomfortable questions about creative independence and corporate ethics. If BTS, global icons with immense influence, can face such constraints, what does that mean for younger artists still navigating the system? Jungkook's fury may have inadvertently exposed a larger issue: the ongoing struggle between artistic authenticity and commercial control. HYBE's lack of public response has only deepened the crisis. Without transparency, the decision appears arbitrary, even punitive. The company's refusal to clarify its motives has eroded trust among fans and sparked broader conversations about accountability in the entertainment industry. Critics argue that this incident reveals how institutions sometimes underestimate the emotional intelligence of fandoms, particularly one as powerful and globally connected as ARMY. The demand is no longer just for music. It's for honesty, respect, and mutual recognition between artist and audience. In many ways, Jungkook's anger has transcended the specifics of the event. It has become symbolic of something greater, a refusal to remain silent in the face of injustice. His reaction, raw and unapologetic, represents the voice of countless artists who feel constrained by systems that value image over integrity. Fans interpret his defiance as courage, an act of standing up not only for Jin, but for the principles that made BTS beloved in the first place. As the dust begins to settle, the world watches closely. Will HYBE address the growing outcry? Will BTS speak openly about the tensions that have surfaced? Or will this controversy mark the beginning of a quiet but irreversible shift in their dynamic? For now, what remains certain is that this episode has exposed the fault lines beneath K-pop's polished surface. Jungkook's fury was not a tantrum, it was a declaration. It spoke of loyalty, conscience, and the universal desire for artistic freedom. The question now echoes louder than ever: was Jungkook's anger the spark of rebellion, or the warning sign of something breaking apart within the world's most iconic band? But now, as the noise begins to fade and the excitement settles, we must ask ourselves the most uncomfortable question of all. Was any of this real? Did Jungkook truly erupt in anger against HYBE? Or has this entire controversy been amplified, perhaps even orchestrated, to feed the unending appetite of the digital media cycle? In an era where every rumor becomes a headline and every emotion is dissected frame by frame, how can we, as observers, separate fact from fiction? What if Jungkook's alleged fury was never captured firsthand, only interpreted through online whispers, secondhand claims, and emotional reactions amplified by algorithms? Could it be that what we're witnessing is not just a story about an artist's anger, but about how narratives are created, distorted, and consumed in real time? We must confront an uncomfortable truth. The line between news and performance has never been thinner. In today's media environment, platforms like TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter are not just sources of information, they are stages where truth competes with entertainment. Every clip, every caption, every exclusive leak serves